Welcome to Paleobites, the podcast that's the long-dead, fossilized remains of other, better podcasts. My name's Matthew Donald, and each episode I, and a rotating set of guest co-hosts, and I have a dinosaur here, as you can hear. we'll get to that. I and a rotating set of guest hosts talk about and rate a genus of prehistoric animal, be it dinosaur, mammal, arthropod, or so on. This week, I'm joined by one of my best friends, and a real champ, because she doesn't really know much about dinosaurs, but she's still here regardless to support her friend. It's Christina Eilert.
Hi.
How are you?
We're doing good. I do have a dinosaur on my shoulder right now.
Yes. Little Lyra the cockatiel. The unofficial mascot of the Paleobites podcast. Oh, and also joining, because he is a preschool teacher and therefore knows more about dinosaurs. It's Christina Eilert's husband, Jake Chapman.
Woohoo! Smart guy in the room.
I mean, you're both smart.
I mean, we're all kind of smart in different ways.
I'm just not a guy.
Oh.
So.
Oh, you think dinosaurs are gendered? Like interest in dinosaurs is gendered? I guess it kind of is.
We just said smart guy, so I thought.
Oh,
I'm a smart gal.
Guy is ambisexual.
That's true.
Whatever, so.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. Some people still use it as gendered, so it's good to cater it with those people in mind. Because some people don't like it when you say "Hey guys" and it's girls. So
That's okay. I can attest that Jake is very inclusive. So
yeah, that's good.
Yes.
I'm not though. I'm very racist. No. Yeah, I don't like people. That's why I like dinosaurs so much, and that's why I decided to do this podcast. So, we're going to have a lot of different episodes, and I'm not sure what the order that I'll put all these in, because I'm going to record a bunch all at once. But if this is the first one, I guess I can explain a little bit what's going on. So first off, I like to talk to the co-hosts about various dinosaur-related questions. So, like, what is your favorite dinosaur, Christina? Or prehistoric animal, if you have one.
I don't think I have one.
Jake, what about you?
Oh, it's changed over the years, because back when I was little, it was Land Before Time, and...
The dinosaur
Ducky.
known as Land Before Time.
No,
Ducky's a good choice.
Ducky.
Yeah.
Ducky's an interesting
What
choice.
was Ducky? Just,
Ducky? Okay, so what is Ducky? That's actually highly contentious among the paleontology community, because some people say she's a Parasaurolophus, which would make sense because that's a very well-known dinosaur, and every dinosaur in that group is a very well-known dinosaur. You got Apatosaurus, you got Triceratops, you got Stegosaurus, and you've got Pterodactyl, or Pterodactylus, I guess. But the thing is, though, her head crest is too short for a Parasaurolophus. And her mom has the same short head crest. Like, it's really short. It's like a knob, rather than like the long sort of thing that you see in other ones.
But
now,
could that just be like an artistic choice?
It could be.
The designers made? Like,
maybe.
They didn't have enough ink that day.
Jeez.
Oh, yeah. That's some explanation.
Just that day.
Take it up with Don Bluth, I guess. Now, of course, though, some paleontologists think that female Parasaurolophus had shorter crests, and the male ones were the ones with the long ones. But some people suggest, though, that she instead, because the short crest actually looks a lot like another type of duckbill dinosaur called Saurolophus. No para, just Saurolophus. But that's kind of weird, because that's a very obscure dinosaur amidst all these very well-known dinosaurs. So I don't know. I personally think she's a Parasaurolophus with an artistic sort of choice to make the shorter head crest.
There you go.
Yep.
Anyways, I don't know if any of that made any sense, but...
It's a follow-up with me on that favorite question. I will have an answer.
Follow up on the favorite dinosaur question? Yeah. Okay, cool. Also, don't feel like you have to take it too seriously. Like, you can change it all the time. It's not like you're like, okay, that's your favorite, you're set in stone. How about a favorite dinosaur movie or prehistoric movie?
I mean, probably Land Before Time.
Land Before Time's pretty good.
I guess like you kind of think of the big ones like Jurassic Park, Land Before Time.
I like
Walking
Disney.
with Dinosaurs.
Walking with Dinosaurs is a good documentary. I like Disney's Dinosaur, the one that was like had the iguanodons and like they walked through the desert, and I don't know, it was cool. And had the lemurs for some reason, which I thought was kind of weird. But it's like the executives are like, dinosaurs aren't relatable. We need something cute and cuddly, so they're like lemurs.
Did they actually exist back then?
No, that's the thing.
I was gonna say if they existed, there you go. There's my favorite animal, but that cancels it out.
They did. Lemurs are one of the earliest prehistoric primates, though. So Like, they were one of the first ones to evolve. So you could still say lemurs are your favorite prehistoric animal.
Today. We'll go with that today.
Okay, today it's the old lemurs that are her favorite. Okay. Yeah. Anyway, so... Yep, so that was the first bit, and now we're going to get to the real meat of the episode. Hold on, let me check time to make sure. Okay, yeah, 5 minutes.
Did we talk about my favorite dinosaur?
Oh, yeah, what's your... Well, I thought you said yours was Ducky. Your Paris are all...
Well, that's my favorite dinosaur. But if you have to think of dinosaur movie or dinosaur...
Oh, dinosaur movie. That's right, yes.
I don't know. It's like there's this BBC program that's like, was it Walking with Dinosaurs?
Walking with Dinosaurs,
So there's actually a game you could play.
Yeah, I know. You showed me that game. Yeah.
And I like that because you can stick 24 Allosauruses against some Diplodocus, babies or mommies, and they can whip them with the tail.
Yeah.
And that's about it.
Yeah.
But it's not a movie, and I never watched the movie. But yeah,
I mean, I'll count it as a movie. There was a Walking with Dinosaurs movie, but
it
wasn't good because they added these. Because originally it was like, it looks really cool, and they add a lot of scientific verification to it, and like they made them look really realistic and up to the science. But then the executives were like, this isn't going to sell, so add voiceovers, make them make dumb, childish jokes, and they did, and it ruined the movie. But the DVD apparently has a Cretaceous cut, where it gets rid of the voiceovers and just has a narrator, which is how it should have been.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also you can tell those voiceovers were added really late in the game because their lips don't move when they talk.
Oh, even worse.
Yeah, so it was that was
pet peeve of mine.
Yeah, that was a bad choice on the filmmakers to try and make it more mainstream. That's always how it is, though. You make it more executives try to make it more mainstream, and they just make it worse and less mainstream. But yeah, so have you guys ever heard of Theodore Rex? I've never seen it, but it's like a movie with Whoopi Goldberg where she's a dinosaur detective sidekick or something. It's really bad.
I was like, Dinosaurs, a TV show.
Mama!
The little baby dinosaurs like.
It was like a really creepy show because I remember watching it growing up when I wasn't really old enough to understand it, and it just scared me.
Mm-hmm.
It was weird. It was like Simpsons
it's supposed
dinosaur
to be weird?
style.
Okay.
Yeah. I see. No, it was I never saw a lot of it. I heard it ended really sadly. Like, it ended with the extinction.
Yeah, I don't...
Oh, no. Well, maybe we need to revisit it and see, like, if we like it.
Yeah, maybe. I won't watch the earlier episodes before all that happens. I don't know how long it lasted. I'm assuming only a couple seasons, if that. But maybe not, though. I don't know. Maybe it was a big hit.
That is our mission, if we choose to accept it.
All right. Ethan Hunt, or whatever his name is. Is it Ethan?
I don't know.
Is that I think Tom Cruise's character, I think. Is it Ethan Hunt? Ethan Hunt. I know there's an actor.
There's no dinosaurs in Mission Impossible, so that negates the entire
the second one, there were a lot of pigeons or doves that flew as a stylistic choice, whenever there's an action scene. So, yeah, that's not true. Okay.
Close enough.
All right, anyways. So, each episode we talk about a different genus of dinosaur or prehistoric animal, usually dinosaur, because those are the popular ones, but I like to kind of mix it up. And today we are talking about the fused lizard, Ankylosaurus, or Ankylosaurus, as you like to say, Jake.
Mm-hmm.
Although either one's fine. I don't think there's any real official way to pronounce it. Call it Phil if you want. So I go through all this. First, I go through all the detail, like the little details here about it. Feel free to interrupt with comments at any point, or jokes or whatever. Okay, so it is, funnily enough, an ankylosaurid. It's in the ankylosaurid family, which means it's like the headliner, I guess, of the word of the family group of dinosaurs it's in. It's the first, most well-known one. So the rest of the family is named after it. So there are other types of ankylosaurids, but we'll get to those other later episodes, I guess. It is 20 to 26 feet long, or 6 to 8 meters long, and it is 5 to 8 tons. It is an herbivore. It lived in the Late Cretaceous, like at the very, very end, 68 to 66 million years ago. Oh, one thing I should keep in mind, 65 million years ago is when a lot of people think the dinosaurs died out, and that's what we thought for a while, but it's actually 66 based on the geological, what we found in the dating the geological sort of timeline. But 65 just rolls off the tongue better, and it like sounds...
We're just used to it.
And it rounds up. It's a nice round number to it. And in fact, in my final Megazoic book, which took place oh, by the way, I should probably mention this because this is the first episode.
We may have different listeners.
Yeah.
Yep.
I wrote a series of books about dinosaurs called Megazoic, which you can buy on Amazon.com, and I will talk about them at the end of the episode. It's like how you can support my work. They're dinosaur sci-fi, if you like that kind of thing. Who doesn't, I said.
I mean, you're listening to a dinosaur podcast, come on.
That's true. The sci-fi part might turn you off then, more than the dinosaur part. But maybe not, I don't know. I think there's a lot of overlap in those audiences. Anyways, the final one, it takes place at the end of the Cretaceous period, and it's like, will they go extinct or whatever? Because instead of it being like the animals, they have like this sci-fi civilization. But I say it takes place 65 million years ago because I thought if I was correct and said 66, readers would be like, oh, they're safe. There's still a million years left.
Right.
So I went with a popular one there and said 65 million years ago, even though it's not technically accurate.
Well, there you go.
If any paleontology nerd brings it up, it's like, oh, actually, it's supposed to be 66. I'm like, I know.
Like, let it go. Most people don't.
Yeah, so... Yeah, anyway, so Ankylosaurus lived 68 to 66 million years ago. It was one of the ones that was, at the end, wiped out by the meteor. It was known all throughout the western U.S., It was described in 1908. One thing I should point out is that described is not the same as discovered. A lot of times these bones are discovered and then they lay in shelves for years before they're officially described, because some people might think, oh, it's not a new thing, or oh, it's something else that's not important. So they don't. So a lot of times, rather than saying when the fossils themselves were discovered, I'm talking about when the species itself was described formally by paleontologists. And finally, pop culture appearances. It's been in the Jurassic Park series from 3 onwards. It was in Walking with Dinosaurs, where it took out a T-Rex in a very sad scene, because the T-Rex was a mother.
No.
And I believe it's in Disney's Dinosaur, the live-action / CGI movie. But it's weird because it's a lot smaller than it should be, and it acts like a dog compared to the other ones which talk, which is kind of weird to me. Is it mentally deficient, or like
that is odd, huh?
Like, it's always kind of weird when cartoons do that. Like, this one acts like a dog, even though all the other ones talk. Or like this one is like in Lion King with the hyenas, where you had 2 of them were talk normal, one of them was like
Like, what kind of distinction are we trying to make here?
Yeah.
It's usually not a good thing. It's like some kind of social critique, hopefully.
Yeah,
What's
like...
the point of that?
Good old Disney. Sorry.
Yeah, I think I've heard that the voice actor of Ed, the hyena that was like, he said that he's faking it, which I think is a way to kind of skirt around the issue. Like, no, he's not mentally deranged or whatever. He's just faking it. I'm like, okay, sure, whatever you say.
Right. Well, it sounds like they made a lot of kind of alternative choices with that movie that weren't necessarily the best.
Right. We'll see. I mean, it's still a good movie, both Dinosaur and Lion King, although Lion King's more popular, and I understand. But, yeah, I'll admit to that. I'll relent. It's the more popular one. No, I like it better too, actually. But I can't not like Dinosaur. It's called Dinosaur.
Right.
Anyways, to use an overused metaphor, Ankylosaurus was the tank of the dinosaurs, although it did not have a cannon, so it wasn't really a tank. But it was really well armored. To the point of absurdity, honestly. Its back, shoulders, tail, upper legs, head, and even eyelids were armored. So yeah, this thing had everything covered.
Why the eyelids?
Sorry, Lyra there. It just kind of flapped in your face there. Yeah,
I got attacked by a dinosaur.
Oh,
I'm
no.
okay. I survived.
She's like, how dare you ask why the eyelids?
She flapped my eyelid, actually, oddly enough.
Oh, there you go. She's like, this is why the eyelids. Yeah, I don't know, actually, why the eyelids. It's not like they particularly went for that area. I don't know.
Right, that's very odd, but I guess they're just covering your bases.
Yeah. I mean,
Historic fleas.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Keep that
That's
fleas.
the answer.
Ticks, yep.
Yeah, I could see that.
Keep stuff from bugging you, literally.
Yeah. I mean, that would stop me if I was a flea. Like, oh, this is armored. Oh, the eyelids are usually a safe bet. Those are so thin.
Right?
Okay, there we go. We figured it out, guys. Paleontologists, I hope you're listening. We'll report a paper on it shortly.
There's some serious scientific discovery going on in this bedroom.
Yes. So this thing had everything covered, except though it had one glaring weakness. The belly was unarmored. So
you just flip that sucker over.
Yeah, turtle style.
Okay.
And then it's done.
Uh-oh.
Although, good luck doing that, though. This thing was very heavy. Like I said, it was 5 to 8 tons, and all that armor made it heavy, because like it's only 20 feet long, so like 8 tons for a 20-foot long animal seems pretty excessive. That's more than an elephant. Like that's way more than an elephant. And it's about the same. It's shorter than an elephant and about the same length as an elephant. So the fact that it weighed so much more,
just dense.
Yeah, it's very dense. But so its armor, so it had all its armor, which is good defensively, but as well as defense, Ankylosaurus had a good offense too, because at the end of its tail is a club that's 2 feet long, 19 to 22 inches wide, and 7 inches tall. Even though I can find those particular parameters on it, I can't seem to find out how much they think it weighed. But considering it was a big mound of bone, keratin, and osteoderms, I'm assuming this thing could do some serious damage. It probably weighed a lot.
I'm talking like Thor's hammer or what?
Basically. You could summon lightning, yes.
I can just imagine the dinosaur with its tail like...
Yep, exactly. And the way that, they spin their hammer to charge up, he just goes, you can see his butt moving as he's moving his tail all around to charge up the lightning, and then that's pretty good.
We're getting into dinosaur sci-fi here, though, a little bit.
Yep, yeah. If you want to read more about that, no. We'll get to that. Anyways. So in fact, scientists have found tail clubs with dents in them, as well as certain femur bones of, I think, T-Rex. I believe they found this where they're broken and things that match that dent. So yeah, this thing was used for pretty powerful hits.
Wow.
Seeing as this guy, like I said, lived in the same time and place as T-Rex, he had to be well protected. This was a herbivorous dinosaur. T-Rex certainly left alone.
Is this like one of the more protected dinosaurs? Like on the scale of like protecting yourself from predators, like how well prepared is this dinosaur?
Pretty prepared. The only ones I think would be more prepared are the really, 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 really big long necks. They don't have armor, but they are just so big that most predators would leave them alone.
Gotcha.
But, yeah, so I think other than that, they're like the most well protected. I'm assuming if you brought a gun, they'd be bulletproof. Yeah. But I don't know for sure, and there's no way to find out.
Darn. I feel like that'd be like a test that people would actually do. I mean, humans.
I mean, I guess we could take the fossil and then make a cast to make it like so we don't actually shoot an actual fossil, but make like a cast, like a replica, and then fire it. I
mean, really, you wouldn't put it past somebody, would you?
Yeah, I'll just find out if it's bulletproof. Why not?
But you don't know the density of what a bone was like because a fossil is not bone. It's minerals.
It's true.
True, yeah,
so we don't know if the armor was, like Kevlar armor, or was it just lightweight ceramic back in the day? I mean, how dense was their bones, and was the armor like shock proof? Was it could it protect from a bite, or is it just for scratches? You never know.
Yeah, I mean, well, going back to T-Rex, Ankylosaurus was probably betting against that because T-Rex had one of the most powerful bites of any dinosaur. Like. They think like that's the reason why it had such little arms, because it had such a huge head built for crushing. So they need to balance it out by having little arms, so because otherwise it would be very front heavy.
Oh yeah, but just fall over.
So and they think it had about a bite force of about 40,000 pounds per square inch. So
how does that compare to like a modern day animal?
That's about the same as like a great white shark.
Okay.
If not a little bit more. So.
Okay.
And yeah, it could and it had such a big mouth that it could grab prey, crush, and then rip out like 500 pounds of flesh in a single bite. Oh,
jeez.
So, yeah, Ankylosaurus, I'm assuming it was built to protect against that.
Gotcha.
So, in that case, I'd say that's pretty powerful.
A bullet doesn't stand a chance against that kind of armor, though.
I guess. What is the newtons of a bullet? Hold on, I can Google this.
No idea.
How
bullets are different.
Okay.
We need a ballistics expert and we need an archaeologist. Go. Email us.
Okay, yes, email us. And in fact, that might be a thing. Actually, no, I'm not going to segue just yet, although we are almost done. But I wanted to specify that I used the term osteoderm before, and I actually had no idea what osteoderms were before researching this. So I looked it up. Osteoderms are bony deposits forming inside scales, plates, or other structures, and are found in many reptiles and amphibians, such as crocodiles, lizards, frogs, and various groups of dinosaurs. And now I'm imagining an armored frog, and I'm very happy. Like that frog is very proud of himself. He's like, "Look at me, I'm a noble knight."
Aww, he'd just be adorable.
Yeah, exactly.
His little shield.
Oh, I always need to silence my phone. I always forget to silence my phone before I record.
Shame, your co-host said.
What?
I said your co-host did.
Yeah.
Shame.
Check.
Oh, dang it. I'm not professional at all, guys.
Bad host.
No. Okay, you guys. I'll bestow the podcast to you, the non-dinosaur person.
No.
Paleobites is yours.
I think the second most deserving person here is Jake.
Okay, Jake, the Paleobites podcast is yours, because I clearly am not worthy of it.
This inheritance has got to go that way, because yeah.
I work with kids. They're crazy. Dinosaurs are even crazier, because there's so much stuff about them, and this never ends.
It does. That's the thing. There's always new discoveries, so that's one of the reasons why their interest has continued for so long. If we knew everything there was to know about them, and then we just they would fade away from popularity, I think, for a while after a bit, So, because there's always new information about them.
True.
So yeah. Okay, so finally, now that we've talked about this animal, we have our rating system. One of the big points of the podcast, we rate a prehistoric animal just for fun, whatever reason, and we rated 1 out of 65 million. Again, it should be 66 million, but
pretend like that's not happening.
Yeah, exactly. 1 out of 65 million, for whatever reason. I'm going to rate it... Actually, no, you go first.
Ooh, pressure's on, okay. Okay, so since it can, defend itself against pretty much a T-Rex...
Yeah.
Wouldn't you think most people would probably rate a T-Rex as, the highest...
Yeah, 65 million, yeah.
So, you have to exceed 65 million.
So now it's 80 million out of 65 million.
Something like that. I'm
cool.
I'm going to go with 90.
The first rating, and it's already broken the scale, guy. Okay, well, I think... I think I'm going to give it a 55 million, just because, while it could defend itself and had a good attack, it was also very slow, and I don't know, I like fast things.
Fair enough.
I'm like Sonic, I guess. Gotta go fast. But, I don't know, plus, a lot of people really like this one, I don't know, I think it's okay. I don't know, maybe I just find it a little overrated.
Hey.
I know, how dare I?
I did not overrate it.
I've lost already a lot of the listeners of the podcast. They're like, oh, I love Ankylosaurus, no way.
I'll bring them back, don't worry.
Okay.
So I have multiple scales.
Oh God.
Scales.
There's the sexy saurus factor.
Okay. How sexy? How much would you like? How much would you like to go on a nice date and a night out with Ankylosaurus?
Just Velociraptor. They're sleek and sexy and smooth, and then you got the.
They're not smooth. They're covered in feathers.
Well, that too.
Are you saying birds aren't sexy?
Lyra.
She's getting.
Lyra, you're very sexy.
So yeah, you got the sexy saurus factor, then you got the armor, then you got the defense, then you also have to think about attack mode, and is there wizardry in this one? Mage? No, there's no mages in this one.
But it broke a T-Rex's bones.
Yeah,
so its attack is pretty good.
So it's got...
you're talking about RPG stats. You're talking about attack, defense,
exactly.
mana.
It's got 7 out of 10 for attack. It's got a 10 out of 10 for armor.
Yeah.
Well, because you can't really get more armor than that. Otherwise, you just be a rock.
Yeah.
Sexy saurus, not quite. It's got an ankle in it.
If you like stocky chicks, then
ankle,
sure.
Yeah, ankle is not a sexy part of women. Some people might do that.
Well, back in the 1800s when they couldn't even show their ankles were very sexy.
Well, in 65 million years ago.
So you think
that's right, the dresses were very covering back then.
Exactly, so it could be going either way. So, I don't know, I would say, but a 60 million, because it's not quite 66, 65, but 60 million points.
Okay,
what about speed? We've got to do a deduction for speed.
That's true, it's not very fast. That's probably what the 5 million is off.
I picture those things from Dark Crystal, those master mages.
And they had a lot of magic.
It took them the entire season, or the entire movie
to get to the castle,
to the castle. True. They finally did it. The turtle and the tortoise and the hare, they finally made it. So
what you're saying was we need to wait for it. Rather than the Ankylosauruses and the T-Rexes fighting each other, that we need to get them to merge in the castle to become one super being once the crystal is brought back together, right?
Yeah, exactly. There you go.
A tree thing.
But what's wrong with somebody going slow to kind of argue against you? Slugs and snails are super cute.
I guess that's true. And slow and steady always wins the race. All right, fine. I'm changing my rating to 60 million.
All right, so we've got 60, 60.
And
then
these ratings are
90 million.
These ratings are very subjective. Don't.
Yeah, no. These are not supposed to be these aren't supposed to be serious. Like,
we rate what we want.
Anyways.
Don't email me how upset you are with my rating scale.
Actually, you can.
If you would like to email us for how badly we screwed up the information or the rating, you can get a hold of me at mattd@matthewdonaldcreator.com, and you can find me on the social media at MatthewDonaldCreator on Facebook, at MatthewDon64 on Twitter, and MatthewDon64 on Instagram. And if you want, you can send questions to me or to the co-host. I don't know if what you might ask her, like, why aren't you into dinosaurs? Sure. But
yeah, still on your other podcast, nobody I don't think has ever contacted. I'm still offended.
That's right. No, very few people have contacted us too, so we're
okay. Well, then I'm slightly less offended.
Okay.
But
Sorry,
I have an attack dinosaur on my folder, so
yes.
I might stick her on you if you don't contact us.
Of course. She's very scary.
She's terrifying.
Look, she's chewing your cheek off. She's chewing your face off. Ah! All right. If you listeners are less interested in dinosaurs, or still interested in dinosaurs, but also interested in writing, I also have a podcast called The Ritwit, where two twits talk about writing. It is available on my website, MatthewDonaldCreator.com, or you could Google it if you want. Do your own searching. Finally, like I said earlier, I have a dinosaur book series called Megazoic, available on Amazon for print and Kindle. Go check it out. Leave a buy it. Leave a 5-star rating, or a 1-star rating. Be honest. I'll understand. Anyways, that's the first episode of Paleobites. Thank you very much, Christina and Jake.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Yes, and we will see you there. I need a good signing off phrase.
Outro.
A good outro, yeah, like. Now's not the time! There's too little time! We'll figure it out later! Bye!